Good afternoon. Yep, getting into this a little bit later than usual, but this is post 4th of July, or as I like to call it, Patriotic Explosives Day, so, a little slow today. But here we are with this week's Picks of the Week, and I went with a special theme that is inspired by my release on my Patreon, for those at the $10 and higher level, of the Crew series pitch. The Crew is an urban fantasy, action, horror kind of melange setting that we are developing for Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition. It will be part of the Omniverse. It's a setting that I am co-developing with Corinne Siebold, who is Evil Beagle Games Editor-in-Chief and a fantastic GM, especially for this setting. So, inspired by the release of that to the Patreon, I went with Fantastic Urban Heroes Week. And our first pick is Things from the Flood, the hit follow-up to the award-winning Tales from the Loop. Things from the Flood basically takes the storyline that was begun in the 80s with kids on bikes, and now they're much older teenagers, young adults, still dealing with the crazy, weird, and sometimes horrible strangeness of the world around them in and around either the Malaren Islands in Sweden or Boulder City in Nevada. So this, based on the Year Zero game engine, is another chance to delve into this world. One of the big things about this one, you can die, unlike in Tales from the Loop. So, moving on, we went with the recently Emmy Award-nominated Liminal by Paul Michener. It's distributed by the fantastic folks at Modiphius and done by a really great design team. And it's another one of those, strangeness and the people who live in between it. Good description here is: more to the world than most of us know, academic wizards and gutter mages, vampires and werewolves, men in black working for a secret religious order, and a police division investigating Fortean crimes. Very much based in the world of Great Britain, Liminal takes you into the between of that which people believe is true and that which exists outside of their known reality, which, of course, is really kind of the essence of urban fantasy in most cases. Moving on, we get into, and I am going to absolutely destroy the pronunciation on this, Ngen Mapu. It is really interesting. It's a Fate core system product. That image is beautiful. I just absolutely adore the cover of this thing. This one is based in South American mythology. And the idea is that the world is sick and you are imbued with shape-shifting and pacifistic-oriented powers and abilities that you have to try to use to defend and heal the world. And one of the challenges of this setting is that while you're bringing this magic into the modern and very messed up kind of world, you have to fight within the boundaries of, do I maintain my pacifism, and how well do I do so, or do I fall to the darkness of violence because I'm trying to do what's right? So I think that makes for some interesting gameplay and a very, very different premise based on a mythology most American and European game players don't know much about. So it's a chance to explore something new. Now we move on to a double pick because, again, yesterday I missed because it was Explosives Day, so went with a double pick today, and that is Dresden Files Accelerated. And I'm so giddy about that cover. I'm a Dresden Files fan. I've been listening to it with the James Marsters voiceover, a guy who played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He does a fantastic job of the voice work on this thing. If you get a chance to listen to it on Audible, I know who all those characters are, and based on everything that was described, that cover was just dead on. So this is a Fate Accelerate, so it's a jump in real quick Fate-based game that just throws you head over heels into the world of Dresden, which, again, is, in my opinion, one of the great examples of urban fantasy ever, especially as you get further into the series and you start to discover all the factions and stuff. So that's a really exciting product that I'm excited about. And then I also picked Entromancy, a Cyberpunk fantasy RPG. Now, this is for those of you who basically want Shadowrun in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I mean, straight up, that's what it is. It's got a slightly different premise, but it's elves and orcs and fantasy creatures and magic in a cyberpunk world using the 5e rules. So there it is. That is our fantastic urban Heroes Week. And as always, when you click on the links and make purchases, I am fortunate enough to receive some revenue on that, and you help me greatly. I'm also going to encourage you to take a look and perhaps consider becoming a Patreon supporter for me. And if you come in at that $10 level higher, you will actually get to see the Crew series pitch, which I'm very excited about, which is for our Prowls and Paragons Ultimate Edition a product which is coming out later, thanks to our successful Kickstarter. By the way, if you are interested in the Prowls and Paragons Ultimate Edition and you missed the Kickstarter, look around on this Patreon page because you'll find multiple links to the Pledge Manager, which is going to give you a chance to dive in and get in on the great deals. So we've kept that going for a while because, quite frankly, we didn't have a reason to shut it down. We wanted more people to have a chance to get involved. So it's still time to do so. All right, thanks again, and as always, game on and be good.